Hey everyone, John and Kaylee here for All Miniatures Great and Small. Today we're going to be unboxing and taking a look at Skaventide. It's Warhammer Age of Sigmar version 4. This is their brand new starter box. Sorry there's been a little delay in getting this. We weren't on Games Workshop's pre-release schedule, so we have to spend our own money and wait for the box just like everyone else. But of course that means we're going to give our unvarnished thoughts about the box, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, just to give you a little background, I've played some, not a ton of Age of Sigmar, but I like collecting the models. And Kaylee has been collecting, who have you been collecting again?
Sylvaneth.
Oh, the Sylvaneth, the tree people. So we've both played Age of Sigmar, and Kaylee's got a pretty good track record with her Sylvaneth. So I think we're going to be excited to cover some Age of Sigmar on the channel. All right, so we got this box, this giant box. Have you seen how heavy this box is?
No.
Try to pick that up.
It's not that heavy.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm just old and weak. And she's not taller than me. She's just in a higher chair. I want to establish that now. Okay, so this starter box has two forces in it. It's got Stormcast Eternals and the Skaven.
The rat people.
The rat people, exactly. Kaylee just watched the trailer, so she's all versed in the lore now of Age of Sigmar. You can put any Age of Sigmar question in the comments below, and she will be able to answer it.
No, I will not.
Okay, what's in the box? Why don't you go over the box contents?
Okay. So, this box contains 272-page Warhammer Age of Sigmar core book, 144-page Spearhead, Fire and Jade, one double-sided game board. Oh, that's a separate thing.
It is a separate thing.
36 card Spearhead deck, 17 General's Handbook cards, and 4 terrain features. And for the miniatures, it contains, on the Sylvaneth side, not on the
Sylvaneth, ooh.
On the Stormcast Eternal side, they have a Lord.
Oh, she's gonna be tested here.
Lord Vigilant on Gryfstalker.
Gryfstalker.
Close enough. Lord Terminos, Lord Veritant,
yeah.
Knight Quester, Reclusians, Prosecutors, and Liberators.
Nice.
And then for the Skaven, we have Claw Lord on Gnaw, Beast Grey Seer, Warlock Engineer, Ratling Warp Blaster, Rat Ogres, Warplock Jeziels,
yeah.
and Clan Rats.
Lots of clan rats. You know, I collect Stormcast Eternals, but I'm kind of excited for painting the rats. I think they're going to look pretty cool. Normally when I get these starter sets, I keep the Stormcast and I sell the other half. Ugh. But let's go ahead and open this up. There, we'll let her open that up. She doesn't think it's heavy. All right. So we've got the poster. Normally this is in there to like protect the things from the other things, but it's on the top, so I don't know how much it's protecting. Then we've got a whole lot of plastic. Bases, lots of bases. All right, let's kind of get these out and just set them down.
I think those are rats.
And if they're duplicates, we can just stack them on top. A lot of plastic. Nothing's better than the smell of fresh plastic in the morning. All right, so that's all the plastic. This looks like rats. Lots of rats.
These are rats.
So those are probably duplicates.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are duplicates. So any other duplicates?
These two are duplicates.
So
Those are not duplicates.
Lots of models. So we're going to go take some close-up shots of these sprues so you can see the plastic, and put together some of the models so you can kind of get an idea of the quality. Now these are all push-fit models. Do you know what that means?
That you don't need glue.
You don't need glue, but their push-fitting sucks. So usually I recommend you glue them anyway. You cut off the little nubs that you're meant to push fit, and you just glue the model together. I mean, if you're brand new to Age of Sigmar and you just want to play with your toys really fast, I guess you could push fit them without glue, but you should glue them. It looks like it comes with some terrain. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I read off terrain.
You did. And now we found it, so we know we weren't robbed of terrain. All right, let's see what else is in the box. Ugh. Okay, we got another. Is that the same thing?
No, it's a different poster. Oh no, it is the same poster.
It's the same poster. I wonder if they just accidentally put two in there. We got more bases. These are probably for the heroes. Oops. Just throwing things around. Ugh. Ugh. And ugh. All right.
Oh.
All right. Why don't you start with that one?
Do I open?
Yep. It's kind of fancy packaging. But for the amount of money I paid for this, it's good that it's fancy packaging. Oh, the anticipation is killing me. Oh, there we go.
Giant book.
All right, so we got two books. So that has the core rule book and the Spearhead Fire and Jade book. We'll see if you can probably just tear that. Or not. All right, so the core rule book, that is huge. How many pages is that? Check the index.
274.
274 pages. I bet only like 10 pages are actual rules.
Oh, yeah. 274 pages.
So they're doing something interesting with Age of Sigmar. They're giving us two ways to play. So you've got the core rule book, which is all the rules for regular old Age of Sigmar that you've always played, just 4th edition. Then they're doing something called Spearhead, which is a simplified game of Age of Sigmar. So you play it on a small board, and your armies are already preset, and it makes it a lot easier to get into the game. Like you buy a Spearhead box, and you paint your box, and then you're ready to go. So this has a lot of Spearhead forces. So the back of the box said it comes with this board, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. I haven't seen it yet. And then it has that terrain that we were talking about too. So that way you can play a game that's a lot faster and doesn't use all the rules. And
oh, they got these.
Oh yeah, they all do. Okay, why don't you open up that one? Let's see what we get now.
So there's your cards, and more cards.
More cards.
And an assembly book.
Ah, yes. The old assembly book.
And I think this is the board. Yep.
Let's see how big that is. Let's put it out. So you can play a whole game of Age of Sigmar on here. And these are the objectives to capture. So we got almost 30 inches. What's this going to be, 24? No, by 22.5 inches. Now what's on the other side? So we got this is this side.
Then we got a green side.
Oh, look at that. That matches our table almost perfectly.
Yeah.
And then, so these are kind of in different locations, it looks like. Cool. All right, so with that, we've got cards, and the instructions are pretty straightforward. So these cards, I'm not sure what these are. These are, let's go back to the box. We have a 36 card Spearhead deck and a 17 General's Handbook cards. So that must be the General Handbook cards, and then these are the Spearhead decks. Are these two different decks or one deck? Oh, these look like one deck. Huh. Okay, so pretty cool. And then what are those cards?
These are the General Handbook cards. So they have like season rules, battle tactics, battle plans.
Oh, so these are like missions.
Yeah.
Oh, with the setup on it, how to do the objectives. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
They also have dates on them. You know what that's for?
2020.
Yeah, this one says 2016, 2018, 2019.
I think maybe that's when this mission first appeared. So maybe it has like all of the missions that were ever in the old box set. So the cool thing about this set is that it's got everything you need to play except for dice. I'm surprised it didn't come with dice, but...
Oh, I thought it did come with dice.
No.
Oh.
But
lame.
If you're, you know, an Age of Sigmar player, you've probably got plenty of dice already or played anything else. If not, dice are pretty easy to come by. But there's a lot of stuff here, and this is pricey, but for what you're getting, it's not too bad. You want to guess how much this costs if you were to go to the hobby store and buy it right now today?
$200.
No.
Oh.
Keep going.
Up?
Yep.
Whoa. 300.
Lower than.
Oh, okay. 250.
I want to say it's like 260.
Okay.
And then I bought it online for cheaper, but it's a lot of money. But when you consider that one character, like a character we have over there or one of these big guys, might cost close to $100 by himself, and a rule book might cost $50 by itself. They charge $30 for these packs by themselves. And there's 74 miniatures in here.
Yeah, that's a lot.
When you buy like 5 Liberators or 10 Liberators, it's like $60. So, you know, it's a lot of money, but you get pretty much everything we need. We could actually sit down and play a battle of Age of Sigmar right away. And with the book, which is kind of cool, let me see that Fire and Jade book. So, for example, you have Sylvaneth.
Yes.
Which are on page 44. So the army building is here. You don't have to buy a separate army book. And this tells you exactly what kind of spearhead force. And eventually there'll be more. So this is called the Bitterbark Copse. Copsey? I don't know what it is. So it's got all of these guys.
I think I have all those.
I think you do too. Those are kind of those cool witch guys that...
And then there's the Branch Witch, and then the Kurnoth Hunters.
Kurnoth Hunters. Oh, you don't have bow Kurnoth Hunters,
well,
though. You have sword Kurnoth Hunters. Ah, but it does. So
they're cooler anyway.
I think Kurnoth Hunters are just awesome regardless. And then it has your abilities, your enhancements, and then all the stats. Oh, look, the page was right on there.
Oh.
Wow.
Hey.
Whoa, that's yeah, Kurnoth Hunters. I wonder if you... So this, yeah, that is just a great bow. We could probably swap them out for the other guys. Tree Lord. You don't have a Tree Lord. You just have...
I have the Spirit of Durthu.
Yeah, this is like the generic, but Spirit of Durthu is much cooler.
Way cooler.
And then Tree Revenants, that's what you got. Yeah, so then every faction has their own little starter list that you could play with, which is nice. There must be a box set that has just those models in it. So just those models, that box set, you want to guess how much that's going to cost you?
What, like
if you were going to go?
$200. 100.
Yeah, I would say 200's kind of not even Games Workshop's that ballsy. I would say, let's see.
Wow, Dad, phone's at the table.
Okay, here we go. $123.
That's not too bad.
It's normally $145, but Amazon has it on sale. And it has all those models in it. 10 miniatures for $123.
And this has 74, right?
This has 74.
That's like, I would be if
it hurts the math.
If it was relative to that, this would be like $700, $800.
So, but that only is a good value if you collect one or both of these.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say you don't collect Stormcast Eternals, but you love Skaven. You might be able to sell the Stormcast Eternal side to your friends or on eBay or something like that. Or get this box and split it with someone. But I think with Spearhead, it's going to be neat because I can build a Spearhead force, which won't be as expensive as building a giant 2,000 point army, and be able to just play with that and not have to invest in a whole faction. All right, that's enough of us chit-chatting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to assemble some of the models and kind of talk about how that experience is. We'll take a closer look at the sprues, and then we'll come back for our final thoughts. Let's take a look at some of these models. This looks like the rats. Lots of rats. And I believe there are 2 sprues of this. You can see some of that great detail. The only Skaven I think I've ever collected are the Blood Bowl team, which Skaven were pretty fun on the Blood Bowl pitch. These are Stormcast Eternals. You can see some of that cloak detail. Oh, he's pretty funny looking. You can see the push-fit nature of all this stuff. Since I'm seeing shields, I'm assuming this is Liberators, shields and hammers. You got 5 of these, I think, or maybe 10? I don't know. But they're a good basic line troop. I liked the last edition. They had some, I forget what they're called right now, but they were similar to this. They were line troops, but they had spears instead of hammers. But yeah. The Stormcast have dramatically gotten better. I guess there are 2 sprues, 2 identical sprues of that in the box. And now they're some of the best sculpts. Okay. I'm assuming these are some kind of the brutes or something, the big Skaven models. And then we've got these flying guys, not Liberators. I forget what they're called. And we do have terrain. We'll take a closer look at that. There are other stuff too, but I'm not going to show you every single sprue up close. I did build some Age of Sigmar terrain I still have it because I really like it, but this, yeah, this will go with it just fine. Looks pretty good. So you get a whole sprue of this, which is enough to build, I think, 4 terrain pieces, it said, which you use for the spearhead game. All right, let's assemble some of these and take a look at some finished models. Well, I'm not going to paint them, but you get the gist. I've assembled some of the models, and now just to give you my thoughts. So I just did some Skaven models. I didn't bother with the Stormcast. I built a lot of those in the past. You could look at some old videos for that. But I thought the Skaven, since it's kind of having a range refresh with this box set, we take a look at some of the models. I built some of the little guys, the clan rats, which are usually just one, like 2 or 3 pieces. So very easy to put together, which is good because there are like 40 of them. And you can see some of the detail. I'm sure I'll be painting some of these, trying to find a good paint scheme. Share that with you guys in another video. This is their leader. Just a great model. I mean, look at that. Just amazing. And you have, I think this is the biggest thing in the box, which is some kind of warfire cannon. It has little guys pushing it, the gunner. Just another outstanding model. Some rat ogres. Again, just great looking models. These are like their sniper guys. I forget what they're called, Giselles or something. Okay, so assembly-wise, these go together real easy with the assembly guide here. Super easy to follow. I did end up clipping some of the pegs, like I mentioned, to glue them together, but not all of them. And some of them, there are some gaps I might need to fill because of that. Sometimes pushing the 2 pieces together can be hard because, like, say this piece right here, this piece of armor, it has little spikes. So when you push it in place, you have to push on the spikes, which hurt your fingers. But otherwise, I mean, it comes together pretty amazing. Yeah, so no complaints here. Definitely some great models. Okay, on to our final conclusion. Yeah. All right, we're back. We took a look at some of the models. That was cool. We've unboxed the box. Now we're just going to talk about our final thoughts. What do you think of this whole presentation? Do you think it's better to have everything in one box, or you go buy it individually?
I think it is nice to have everything in one box, because especially with this box, you can, once you assemble all these models, you can have like a little game, especially with the spearhead. And I think that's better than the individual boxes, because especially with my Sylvaneth, we have to go out and actually hunt for what I want. And sometimes it's not there.
Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes it's too expensive.
Yeah. It's like $60 for like one model.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's a good value if you're transitioning from Age of Sigmar 3. It's a good value because it gets you everything you need, especially if you're a Stormcast or want to collect Skaven. These Skaven models look gorgeous. The new Stormcast models look great. If you've seen my other Age of Sigmar videos, you know I was already bemoaning the fact that they squatted a bunch of the old range of Stormcast Eternals to make room for these guys. But these guys look amazing. The new Liberators with the shields and hammers look really, really cool. And I love the paint scheme that they went with this box. Makes me want to paint my gold ones all silver and blue instead of gold and blue, but I'm going to stick with the theme. And I'm looking forward to rats. I bet I can knock out the rats fairly quickly because contrast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fur and cloth and stuff. That takes contrast pretty well. And then maybe we could have Skaven go after your trees and see if I can finally get a win against the pushy Sylvaneth.
Yeah, good luck.
They think they're everything. But there you go, guys. That's a look at Skaventide. We are going to have more Age of Sigmar content on the channel. Kaylie and I. Kaylie's going to be your Age of Sigmar host through this journey as we go through. So you will see more, but let me know down in the comments what you do like to see. And if you have any questions about this box set or anything that we've talked about. But until then, I just want to say thanks for watching and
Keep on gaming.
we've got to work on our own catchphrase. Keep on gaming.